Hello everyone, it's been requested that the mighty 1v1 duel between Cal Vega and Danny is to be casted. This has been requested on the old Discord there. We have a Trade Federation mirror. So in the blue corner, we've got Danny, who old player probably doesn't play too much. Probably try to shake off the rust. And then we've got Cal, who pretty much just plays Age of Empires all the time and now and again plays GBG. He seems to have some sort of bad rivalry at the moment with Ioniton, and named himself Ioniton Gay Idiot. Not a very nice name. So Trade Federation, there's some Rontos, there's some Banthas. Get those in the nursery, get that food. Lure those Rontos there. You can see that Danny's not quite gotten his Ronto, nor has he gotten all of his nerfs either. He's only on 8 nerfs. He's found 4 here, so he's going to be falling behind in food quite a bit here. Because as you can see at this point, Cal's almost extracted 100 food. And they're about the same in terms of the nerfs at the moment, the passive income. Nice little carbon spot here for Danny. His base isn't too bad in terms of like having a defensive wall. Lots of opportunities to get a nice sort of walled arc around while grabbing up a lot of land. Cal's on the other hand, not so great. A lot of hills. Hills very exploitable when it comes to trooping. Got all his nerfs now, I think. Oh, but no, he's missing 4. And they're being swiped here by Danny. That's unfortunate for Cal here. He still hasn't got his carbon down. He's struggling a little bit there. Where's the game time? Don't know why that's not on. So it'll be 20 nerfs versus 12. But we could see a faster tech time out of Cal due to being on the Rontos much earlier. Because he's about 300 food ahead just now. Those 4 nerfs haven't paid off yet. I suppose 8 technically. Over the coming minutes he should catch up in terms of food. I haven't really kept check of whether he had an idle command center, but not too sure. He's a bit of a worker behind. Not a huge disadvantage. Cal halfway through the second Ronto here. Danny luring his over. Going on to Nova, which is interesting. I think he's maybe going to get some mounties out. Troop centre coming down, power core. A couple of mounties being made. Cal on the other hand, a bit behind in terms of like his carbon income. Due to just sort of playing, you know, sort of standard onto the Ronto early. That should be ahead in tech. Danny at the moment not sending out this this mountie. He's rallied it into his command, his carbon line, and blocking this worker from working. Bit of a mistake there. So this attack could technically be infinitely more powerful here with 2 mounties, which should absolutely cause mayhem. 1 mountie, not too much of a hindrance, and then there's 2 mounties here as well. So he's really sort of butchered this rush. But Cal, quite a weak emotional player. This 1 mountie could be doing untold damage to his mental psyche here. He's got the trooper recruit out, which will deal with this, push this away, because these mounties are still here blocking this man from doing his job. Absolutely sitting down in front of him and saying, nope, no carbon is being delivered here into the old processor today. Another Ronto coming over. Cal maybe a little bit off tilt here. His fast tech time not really amounting to much in terms of a rush here. Crazy amount of workers on carbon just now. Not quite worked out that he's going to be adding farms. There goes the food processor. Quite even now in the troopers. Problem is that he's missing these nerfs, and that advantage is going to just keep piling on. So you could say that though Danny had this this advantage in the nerfs, he might have lost for the in terms of like in a standard sort of game and meta here, where Cal gets to T2 quicker. And by doing the little the early mounties there, he's destabilized the game and put it off tilt. So much so that that advantage that Cal would have had in the tech time isn't going to apply. And he's just going to slowly get further and further ahead with the 8 nerf advantage. No turret, but Senseless could absolutely be having a turret here. He knows he's ahead in nerfs. He should be limiting whatever damage Cal can inflict on him. At the same time, he's rushing him on his side, but Cal always double turret and then just goes for your carbon line. One-dimensional player. He's going to struggle to defend his base appropriately because of the sort of layout of the map here. And the fact he's TF as well, which makes it even worse. Can't put any prefab shelters to block out these little angles. Got a little police force here as well. The scout and the 3 mounties just looking for any opportunity to do some sort of damage. So still no farms out of Dannie here. He's still on the Nova as well. Who knows what he's got planned. There goes the food processor now, because he will need to make a transition. Neither player opting for any sort of light walling. Except this soul light wall here. Just because he's been reminded that troopers can walk in there by the recent visit from Cal. Here comes the police force in here. Maybe go for the power core. Force a reaction. Just doing some scouting, running across, taking a bit of damage. Seeing how many troopers he's got. As he moves his into an area where he can do a bit more damage to Cal here. Cal's sort of just boxed in here. He's maybe not adding on as much farms as he wants, just to keep garrisoning here. He's only been on 1 troop centre up until this point. There's a second going down now. So I just letting Dannie take control of the game. He's dictating the tempo. You can see he wants to just send his troopers out and try and all in and get damage because he's got his 2 turrets. Danny's actually running back rather than just building troopers at home. He's going to get a big surround here actually. These guys have intercepted this army. 2, 3. About now it's an even trade in that fight, and it's just going to auto-win that. Cal's going to struggle to replace those, and the problem here for Cal now is that when Dannie applies pressure here, he's not going to be able to farm food. And this side is completely exposed as well, the turrets don't cover it. So Dannie just needs to come in and start sniping farms off of him. And with his extra nerfs and his unmolested farms here, he's going to get to T3 and just kill him off with T3. Pulls back a little bit too timid. He should just kill these farms because he can. Kill this entire left side and try and force a response out of Cal here. He's making a way to that exposed sort of carbon line. If he gets on top of the hill here, it's going to be very difficult for Cal to deal with. He's going to lose at least 4 workers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 workers, and without a trade of the troopers. He's still got the hill. A little bit damaged, but he's still got the hill. Not quite near going T3 yet, as you see he's not added on enough farms. He's building all of these buildings that he doesn't quite need. And he was still making troopers as well. Not the best sort of macro here. But he's still in a commanding position in this game. He's done a bit of some market trades there to get his food up. So he can absolutely hit the button now. Just after this worker. No, he's cancelled it. There he goes. So Cal once again, big suicide attack. Still no turrets out of Dannie. He just doesn't know this about Cal. He didn't get this memo that this is what he does. Goes for the cheap plays. Not making 2 turrets either. He's just running his workers away, so he's going to have to rely on T3 to save him here. at the end of the day, it is going to be a sort of base trade in a sense. But he does have the turrets here to guarantee the carbon. However, he doesn't look like he's anywhere close to T3. So these workers have managed to escape over here, but they are going to get found. Now he's ran in and just gone for a trade because I guess he feels he has to with how this game's turned out here. He's still running these workers away. He's sent everything onto Nova, and I'm guessing he's just going to keep buying the resources that he needs. He can only put out 2 strike mechs at a time though. Cal desperately try to get the spaceport down so that he's got 2 buildings to meet the rule and tech up. He's running in here, and he's going to see no workers here, and he's just going to assume that he's sort of won the game if he stabilises. But he's going to slowly have these dwindled away. He's not run these workers in preparation either, so he's going to lose these as well. It'll take a while for these strikes to kill all of these. Awful lot of workers here. A few strike mechs in the back here with maybe +1 range, and can't sort of deal with them. I think what absolutely would have been a good shout is an air base as well, just to sort of diversify the response that your opponent needs to put in to defend your T3. Because it's a lot easier to deal with the strikes if you can just be making grenade troopers rather than if you have to make anti-air troopers. But he's still got those nerfs, he's still got an income, and he's definitely T3. Is Cal on his way? No. Nowhere near. He's really going all out with the Grenadiers, which I don't think is the response. You needed to sort of even the playing field and just go T3. And you've got one job here, Danny, and you're just losing the strikes. That's a huge loss. I can't see Cal losing this game here. 3rd troop centre, I don't understand the reasoning for that. That's slowed down his getting the buildings, and I'm surprised he's not just put food aside and teched up. He's still nowhere near. He's still overbuilding all these defences. His troops aren't going to do anything with these fighters out. Look at how many troopers he's building. The answer is just to get to T3, and then you're in a commanding lead, right? He's not bringing the units, he's not bringing the Grenadiers with the anti-air, he's not microing appropriately. It's giving Dannie an opportunity to just micro these units and kill them. I like that, sort of chasing them with 1. That's a cute idea. Air's gonna die senselessly. Can't be losing these strike mechs. They're so expensive. But no food is being gained. Still on just 200. Like, if he just sells his carbon and buys food, he should be okay. Just tech up. All these workers being put onto Nova. It's a bit like watching a bot play. It's got some sort of rules of how it can manage its economy. So many anti-air troopers for like 4 fighters. You could defend with half of that. And these are not meant to be your primary defences, they're just sort of a crutch until you can get to T3 and make the proper counters. how does Dannie win this game? Maybe just by getting too many of the units that he can deal with. Which is very much a possibility, given how stuck Cal is making himself here. Ah, forward is very good. Cal would need to surge forward to deal with this, and he's built some troopers in preparation as well. Which, if it comes down to an all-out fight, it'd certainly be neutral in what damage they take from the counter units here. They're almost a sort of guarantee in a fight, a constant that you can't deal with. He's pulling apart his attention here onto the farms once again, so he can get this forward down, and then he's rallying over these troopers here. And he has managed to get them up to heavy troopers as well, which is really going to snowball their effectiveness here against the T2 trooper units he's making to defend himself. It's strange to see someone lose from such a winning position. It's all really down to horrible decision making. The nerfs are irrelevant given the situation that Cal was in when he caught these workers with no turrets. Danny is just like full all in here. He's not putting down extra command centers or anything, he's just going outright, he's just going to kill Cal. He doesn't need an economy really, he's got some nerfs and he's just going to make units. And because Cal's stuck himself in T2, he can't deal with it. He's finally gotten T3, you could see him. A few mech destroyers, but it's a bit too late now. There's artillery out. And the troopers both trade quite decently with them. He would need a shield. He's built three mech factories that he can't really support, can he? He's not getting any food. At the same time, he's also got to buy upgrades for his mechs. And there's GG. This was a very interesting Death of Cal video, I must say, considering he should have just won the game. But through his own strange decision making, which I earlier likened to that of an AI, he's lost. And whether he's down 8 nerfs or not, it didn't really matter. He really has mucked that one up royally. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments on Cal's decision making. What would you have done in this situation when you've basically killed all of your opponent's workers? I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.